Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cups and Conversations. It's your girl, Dara, coming back to you with season two. So, last year was season one. We in 2025, where we are no longer just surviving, we are striving and thriving. Here we go in 2025 with season two. I have some beautiful guests on tonight. But first, welcome to Cups and Conversations. So we are back. I have two guests tonight. One, Charity Hammond. Let me introduce your girl. So she is a boss. She's an entrepreneur. She is an advocate of sexual assault. She is an upcoming author. She also is a divorce recovery coach. So get at your girl. She come on the show tonight because tonight we are talking about own your shift. Own your shift. This is accountability season. Tonight I got my shirt on that says I am here and here is good. So with that being said, own your shift. Own where you are in your life right now. Wherever you are right now is what you allowed and what you are accountable for, the things you have done and the things that you have allowed to happen. So own it. Tonight I got some guests that's going to talk about owning their shift. So we have Charity Hammond. Charity, introduce yourself and tell us what's in your cup.
Hello, good people. My name is Charity Hammond, native of Louisville, Kentucky, and your favorite divorce recovery coach. Today, I got two cups because you know why? Your girl is extra. In my first cup, I got some water, and as you can see, my cup is transparent because that's how I choose to show up today. Transparent and authentically me. In my second cup, I got some faith. And my faith is what got me through my toughest storms. So my faith, I don't leave home without it. And inside this cup, I have an ink pen. And my favorite quote said, ink may fade, but the impact of your words lasts forever. So I am ready. I am here, and here is good.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I love it. Transparency. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Next up, we have Hermanda DeMines. She is my cousin, my first cousin, but she's also a community leader, supervisor, soror. She is all that in a bag of grippos for y'all in Kentucky that know about some grippos. But I'm going to bring home right now, Mandy, introduce yourself and tell us what's in your cup.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yes, well, hello everybody. My name is Hermanda Mandy DeMines. I am currently in Columbus, Georgia, but I am originally born and raised from DeVille, 502, Louisville, Kentucky. Yeet, yeet. Yes, I am here and I'm ready to go. Now, my cup, you know, this is my favorite color. I am a Delta woman, but this is my favorite color. And my cup says go for it. Even though we plan for this day and everything, and when certain things come our way, I think it's easier for us to just kind of like hesitate and so kind of doubt ourselves. So this cup's filled with motivation. It's filled with just a little secret sauce, kind of like the spinach that Popeye used to eat when he wanted to feel a little extra. This has a lot of motivation in this cup, so that's what's in my cup today, motivation.
Motivation? Okay, Popeye. Go on. We're going to find Olive Oil and see if she's accountable too tonight. So let's bring us all back on. Bring us on back on. Hey, ladies, thank you so much for joining me on tonight for Cups and Conversations. Thank you for bringing your energy. Thank you for bringing an open mind. Thank you for bringing you. And thank you for coming to talk about owning your shift. Because in life just continues to shift. Nothing stays the same. If anything that we can say is constant is change. Change is always happening, whether we want it to or not. And that's when that accountability factor seems to kick in. So, ladies, I just want to go ahead and ask y'all right off the bat, what does accountability mean to you? Mandy.
Accountability for me means holding yourself accountable, telling yourself the ugly truth, whether you believe it, whether you feel like you was right or wrong, knowing that, hey, I was wrong. I was wrong. It's two left shoes on a man with no feet. Like I'm just wrong. That's just what it looks like. Just humility, like just being able to admit that you was wrong, and like, hey, I'm accountable for my actions. I'm able to say that whatever happens, even if everybody knows that life is like a domino effect. One thing is cause and effect. It's easy for us to just say, well, I can't believe this happened to me. I can't believe that they came and took my car. I gotta be accountable if I didn't pay that note.
Hey,
I gotta, I can't say I can't believe I got, all this debt. I gotta be accountable because I was swiping and taking trips to Dubai and I was putting everything on the card, slapping at the big joke in spades.
hey, hey. Okay, Charity, what does accountability mean to you?
That was good, Mandy, and I agree. Accountability means to me that a person is ready to grow. When you are able to take full accountability, that means that you are ready to heal, you are ready to grow and go to the next level, even if the thing happened to you. Even when you
Yes,
can find what part you played in it, that means you're ready to grow. So accountability to me means growth.
yes, 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 yes. So let's talk about reflecting because, like I said, I am here and here is good. Let's reflect a little bit about the I am here. Where are we in our life and are we happy with where we are thus far? Because there's more to go. There's more to go, right? But let's talk about where we are. If somebody asked you right now, so where are you in your life? What would you say, Mandy?
If somebody was to ask me where I'm at in my life right now, I'm at a point in my life where I'm vulnerable because I'm making changes that are new to me, changes that are foreign. As they say, foreign.
Yes.
Some of these things are new to me because I've been so comfortable with just going with the flow, and I figured going with the flow ain't never you ain't if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ain't that what they say? And what I was realizing is that I was breaking. I wasn't. So like at this point in my life, I'm vulnerable, but it's a good vulnerable because
Yeah.
kind of like Ted said, like, hey, that growth, like that, you know, change. Think about a good growth spurt. What's gonna hurt you? That
Hey, it hurt real good. It hurt real good.
when you're working out, and you doing them squats, and
Right.
and you feeling the burn. Your body's changing. So that's how I'm in. I'm vulnerable right now. I'm open. But that's a good thing because I know with me being vulnerable right now that that's gonna transition into something bigger and greater.
Yes, Charity. Where is here? What does here look like for Charity Hammond?
Oh my gosh. Peace and joy. And I can say those two words and mean it 100% and not just saying it because this is going out to the world. But there was a time where I was not in that place. It took me a minute to get here. So just to be able to say those words, it feels good and it's so fulfilling because why? I took accountability and because why? I was intentional about getting to this place. And I know that this is not the final destination. I know that it's only going to get better. So
Yes.
right now, I am here and I am feeling peace and joy.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay. Well, ladies, let's move on. As y'all can see, everybody that is watching, this is going to be something deep. So, I want to go ahead and switch it up a little bit. Ladies, get your paddles ready. It is time to play. It's game time.
Let's go.
Okay, ladies, so I am going to ask some questions and then you put a thumbs up. If you rocking with it, you put a thumbs down if you are not feeling it. So, here we go, ladies. It's game time. Let's go. question. First question. Is there something that you know now that you wish you knew sooner? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up. Okay, talk to me, Mandy. What is something you know now that you wish you knew sooner?
That saying no is enough.
Hey, saying no is enough. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Statement by itself. It don't need no extra. Don't need nothing else to follow behind it. We don't need to discuss it. I don't need to justify my no. No.
No, it's not.
So, if it was one thing that I wish I would have known sooner, I'm a woman of faith, so I would have to say it would be I wish I would have known how God saw me. Because if I would have known that, I would have shown up differently a long time ago. Sometimes we settle for less than God's best over our lives. And I'm telling you, once I tapped into that changed everything. Not only knowing who I am, but knowing whose I am.
Hey.
That's a game changer.
So, what in your life keeps you accountable? What in your life is what makes you stay accountable as best you can? Mandy?
I can honestly say just my character. Like, yeah. If anybody knew my papa, Hermand DeMines, he was a man of character. Even after he passed away, people knew what he stood for, knew his name meant something. So if I'm not accountable for who I am on a daily basis, not just when I'm at work, when I'm always representing myself, regardless of where I'm at, what I'm doing, that alone, I want to stand for something. You understand? I want to know. I want folks to know that if she's wrong, she's gonna say she's wrong. If she made an error on something, she's gonna hold herself accountable. I'm not gonna pass the buck to anybody and say, "Oh well, I did this because I thought you did this, or I thought you." I want to stand for something, and I want my kids and my legacy to mean something because they could take anything from you, but your name and your reputation, they can't touch that.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, Charity, you.
That was good, Mandy. I hold myself accountable because I know that I'm a woman of influence. So I know that there are people watching me. My children also hold me accountable. I got 4 daughters, and they are quick to pull me to the carpet. Mama, you did this. Mama, you did that. And I try to take heed to it and change because I know that I'm not perfect.
Is there a skill that you've always wanted to pursue and haven't yet? Is there a skill or something that you have always wanted to pursue but just haven't yet? Since we're talking about accountability, what is something that you wanted to pursue, Mandy, and haven't yet?
I need to learn how to swim.
My goodness, y'all know that's the stereotype for Black people that we don't know how to swim.
Take me by the stairs and give me a floaty. And your cousin can't swim. No, if you remember the pool over there near with the Cypress or whatever that like over in the like going to near Park Duval, that little pool over there. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yes.
So I ain't learned how to swim. I got
Why
duck.
not?
Never learned how to swim, and your cousin almost drowned in 3 feet of water coming off a slide.
Wow, wow, oh wow.
I need to learn how to swim.
Okay, so are we going to do that? Are we going to hold ourselves accountable to learn how to swim maybe this year? 25, we can strive with swimming, maybe?
I can't make no promises.
Okay, but you need to be learning how to swim, cuz.
I know. First cruise I'm going on this year.
Oh, yes, you definitely need to know how to swim. Anything can happen. I don't need you to be like, what was that movie?
Titanic.
I don't need you to be like, I can't swim, can't get to nothing to hold on to, because I'm going to need you to get to learn how to swim.
I'm getting on a boat. I ain't waiting.
That's right.
And if the boo with me, he better get on the boat too.
I know that's right, because we on the boat.
Yeah. Because he can't swim either. You better get on the boat.
Oh, Lord. Listen, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and just believe that y'all going to learn how to swim at least this year, maybe next year. Charity, tell me something that you have wanted to pursue and have not yet, and why.
This is a hard question for me.
Yeah, I'm sure. This is meant to kind of make you think about something a little bit. What we've been setting to the side, like I'm going to get to and ain't got to yet with this thing called accountability. Like we got to, I am here and here is good. So,
I got it. So, writing.
mmm.
Yeah, that's
Mmm.
something that I do, but it's something that I have not done in a while. And I
Mm-hmm.
know it's so much on the inside of me that I need to get out. However, this is an area that I do need to hold myself more accountable in. So, right.
Okay, okay. Last question. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be? Think about it. If you could talk to your younger self, because especially now that we in our 40s and we have experienced some things in life, if we could talk to our 20-year-old self, man, what would we tell her about who she's going to become? Or what obstacles she was going to have to face? Or how family was going to switch up on her? Or how friends that was her best friend in her 20s maybe didn't make it to my 40s as far as us being road dogs no more? Like, what would you tell your 20-year-old self about life, about accountability, about the shifts that was going to take place in your life? Like, if you could talk to your 20-year-old self, what would you say? Either one of y'all, whoever got it first, what would you say?
Just thinking off the top of my head, I would tell my 20-year-old self,
Mmm.
girl, live. And
Yeah.
I can't really just narrow it down to one thing. It's so much stuff that I'm doing now at the tender age of 41 that
Yes.
I find myself like, okay, you just not doing this. And I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, but I
Right.
know I operated with so much hesitation
Mhm.
on, well, don't do this. Well, don't ruffle feathers. That I wasn't no feather ruffler.
Mm-hmm.
I was the, I was safe. You
Yeah.
know, saying but safe. Anything dealing with Mandy was safe. You know, but me playing it safe, it caused me to miss out on a lot of opportunities, a lot of moments. I admire people when I see them, like even going off to school. I was scared to go off to school. I didn't go to college until like I was like 23, 24. So I remember touring Northern Kentucky University, the University of Louisville campus, or anything like that. I remember saying I wanted to have that college on campus.
Yes.
I just got comfortable. And then when I finally did go back to school, I mean, of course, I rocked it and I did what I had to do. I was scared to live life.
Yeah.
And so I would tell myself, girl, live.
That's right.
Forget all that extra stuff, live.
That's
And whatever
right.
that means.
That's right. I love it. I love it. I'm with you. Like, I'm so with you on that live part because I was a safe person. I didn't want to disappoint my mother. I didn't want to disappoint my father. And I wanted, we was brought up in the church. Y'all know how that goes. We was brought up in the church. My grandfather was a pastor. His father was a pastor. So you grow up with all of these expectations on your life of how you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to look, how you're supposed to walk, how you're supposed to talk, how you're supposed to represent the name, the Humphrey name, you know what I'm saying? The DeMines name, the Hammond name, it's like, who, I know your grandmama, I know your granddaddy, and they wouldn't, sometimes those type of pressures, cause you to stay in the lines. And there's nothing wrong with staying in the lines. I'm not going to say that it is, but sometimes only hearing the stories from the elders of staying in the lines and not hearing the stories of the reality is what gets us mixed up. If you, just like us as parents, if you are always sheltering your children, the first thing your children are going to want to do when you're not around them is go and do exactly what you told them not to. Stay away from boys, and you're not telling them why to stay away from boys. So as soon as they old enough, they going to find out. Now, what's wrong with boys? Why my mom don't want me around boys? You know, or don't go on that side of town. But as soon as I'm not around mama, now I want to go on that side of town. Why? Because it's not explained to us. It's not explained the why. Because see, I grew up in a time where it was children to be seen and not heard. Do what I say, do as I do as I say, do not as I do. So you would see things and you like, well, if it's okay for you, why is it not okay for me? But that all comes down to the accountability and what we hold ourselves accountable for or the lack thereof. You know what I'm saying? So that's good. That's good. Telling your younger self to live. Because when you don't live, you're living by something. You're living by somebody else's expectations of you. And that can turn into a problem in your adult life, especially when those people that was guiding and directing you are no longer around and you got to start making decisions for yourself. So that is so good, Mandy. Charity, what would you tell your 20-year-old self?
Tell her that she would go through many things that would try to break her. But deep down inside, she has the strength and perseverance to make it through.
Mm.
And
That's
I will
good.
also tell her to be bold and to be brave and to show up in any room authentically as herself,
Yeah.
regardless of who it makes uncomfortable.
I love that. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. Oh, let's jump into that just a little bit. I'm sorry. Let's jump into that. I ain't sorry. I ain't gonna say sorry because I ain't. So let's jump into that. Let's jump into that. Let's think about how many times we didn't want to offend and we did not show up as our authentic self. We did not show up in boldness because we did not want to offend. Talk to me about times that we did not show up as our authentic self and why. And I know it's difficult when it comes to people that are close to us and we want to spare feelings, or sometimes we just don't know how badass we really are. Sometimes we don't know. We haven't walked into that yet. We haven't grasped the concept of how awesome we really are. So we show up and we little like, well, let me just wait till I'm called on, or let me wait till people see me. No, now we busting through doors because we see ourselves. We know ourselves. We done built the platform. We like, no, I'm here. Hey, I'm present. Right? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about those times that we felt like we didn't show up as our authentic self. Mandy?
I can honestly say that for almost like 15 years, I had my previous job that I had before I switched to this agency. I was comfortable. I was scared to really assert myself. I was doing everything. I like literally was doing the job of like multiple people and had no title.
Mm.
I was a leader in many roles, but I let other people take credit for anything that I did. I sat back and I just really like watched people go. I'm talking about I watched them go to like different conferences all over the US that, with programs I knew that I had started up. And was like, backing it and everything. And because I was scared to really show that I'm that chick,
Yeah.
that's my thing. Like, but I was, real big on just playing it safe, like I said earlier, and being humble. So that humble could turn into humility real quick.
Yes, yes,
Like you can go like it's a thin line between being humble and being humiliated.
yes.
And I say that because even though I didn't leave with like power on my face, like my character, like I knew that I could have went and handled business just like the rest of them. I didn't need you to go present what I know I started, the grants and stuff that I was over. I didn't need that, but I never stepped up and was like, hey, well, I want to do this. This is okay. Well, next time y'all present that, I want to head that up. Since like basically, this is since I did it, and I sit back and I look and I'm like, and once I got out that mindset, when
There it is.
that mindset had me
There it
like
is.
that mindset. Imagine, you know how you go to school. Y'all know I'm real good with scenarios. So you know how you go to school and they give you that new locker, and they give you that combination. You up here, and you can't get in, and that's where that mindset had me on lock. And so, like, as I grew older and grew into like, okay, forget that. Like, baby, you come into the room and you own it. Like, I'm gonna
Hey,
walk in any room like I own every piece of furniture up in there. I'm gonna walk into it. Y'all work for me, and like, And what am I gonna be sorry for? What
Hey,
am I sorry? Do I have to water myself down on what I know and what I bring to the table to make you feel comfortable? Once I stop playing it safe, it ain't nothing out there that I won't go for. It's
hey.
I won't shoot for. It's nothing but back then. Oh yeah, like I wasn't me. People always say me like, "Girl, you've always been this." No, I wasn't. No, quit lying to me. That's what quit lying to me. I was there, but you didn't really see me. That's
Mm,
why sometimes the me that they see now, the true Mandy, they're like, oh well, she's changed. This was always
right.
y'all just weren't ready for the real me, and I wanted to
Hey.
really, like be who I am and walk in my truth. I was playing it safe for not just them, but myself. But
Yeah.
y'all get comfortable with that,
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, like. But if you ever pay attention, y'all, like pay attention to the people who always got something to say about who you are. Like the ladies that we see on this screen right now, pay attention to when people say, "Oh, girl, you done changed. You, oh yeah, like you used to." They like to bring that up,
Yeah.
but they only like to bring that up is because they were comfortable with that person. They
Yeah.
were comfortable with that person not telling you, "Nah, girl, I got something to do. Oh, I don't want to go do this with you know. Well, what you got going on? Nothing. Like
Nothing.
feel like going. I don't feel like doing anything. I just feel like chilling. Well, we doing this. I don't want to." And they were so used to you being like, okay, I'll go. No. But if my confidence makes you uneasy, then maybe you don't need to be around me because baby, I'm gonna still be top tier with everything I got.
Hey.
And what you like, I'm not gonna do nothing. Y'all, it's crazy how people say things in a shady way, and all of a sudden, like the sun be shining bright, and all of a sudden they throw a little shade on you, little shower,
Mm-hmm.
a little dark outside. Keep them folks away from you.
Yes. Please keep them to us, Charity. What you got? Why were we not showing up as bold and authentic at once upon a time? What was going on?
So we are being transparent, right?
Yes, we are.
So the time that I can think of was when I was married. And didn't nobody else dim my light but me. I
Hey.
dimmed my own light by being comfortable with just always playing the supportive role.
Mm-hmm.
And again,
Mm.
that was an area where I settled for less than what God was calling me to, just to be that supportive wife.
Been
So,
there,
yes,
done that.
I dim my light a lot,
Mm.
but I'm happy to say that I am no longer there. And the sun is brightly shining.
Yeah.
I am out of that supportive role. And that's just in any relationship. Like, that's
Yes.
just not what I'm going to limit myself to. So the main person that I'm supporting now is my own self and how I see it.
Yes. Yes, I love it. I love it. Yes, it ain't nothing wrong with it. That's right, cousin. Listen, we have got to advocate for ourselves because no one else is going to do that for us. There are people that are pro Dara, pro Mandy, pro Charity. Don't get it wrong. There are people out here that are rooting for us and want us to be our best selves. But then there are people that have taken up too much space in our lives for too long that do not mean us no good. And as hard as it is to outgrow people or move in a different direction, there comes a time where you have to realize who you are and what you stand for. Because if you stand for nothing, you falling for anything. And there's a lot of people that can't wait for you to fall, not to help you up, but to step over you and try to get what you got. They ain't gonna help you up. You know, I read a meme years ago that says, I'm done swimming oceans for people that won't even step in a puddle of water for me. And that hit me so differently because as we know, we show up and show out. We got big energy. We get big on them because guess what? Little ain't what we doing. So when we out here living a big life, speaking big language, encouraging people in a big way, showing up for people in a big way. But then when you are looking around for those same people to show up in your life in a big way, sometimes that doesn't happen. And it makes us reevaluate the positions that we have put people in. And that goes back to accountability. Accountability ain't just being accountable for what you're doing and what you've done. It's also being accountable for what you haven't done, what you have allowed to happen. It's about being intentional about the life that we are living. Own your shift, because guess what? Things are shifting. Who we used to be is not who we are now, and who we are now is not who we're going to be. So, guess what? Things are going to continue to shift. But we got to take part and step back and say, oh, yeah, my mouth was bad. Yeah, I didn't listen. Yeah, I didn't accept, my fault in things. It was always somebody else's fault. We got to be able to own that just as much as we own that we're a leader, that we're a great mom, that we're a great wife, that we're a great woman. We can't always want to hold up the things that we're doing oh so well, but not say, but I still got to work on, or but I'm still working on. And that's the meat of it, is that accountability is not just for what you're doing, but what you're not doing also. So, ladies, let's move on to what's the meme mean. Here we go. Now tell me what the meme mean.
What the meme mean? What the meme mean?
If you're still searching for that one person who will change your life, take a look in the mirror. Take a look in the mirror. If you are still trying to find that person that will change your life, take a look in the mirror. Ladies, Charity, what does that mean to you?
I would say that everything begins with you. And it's up to you to give yourself permission to do and to become something different. I mean, the journey of changing starts within.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh, that's good. Okay, Mandy, what does that mean to you?
Kind of like what Charity said. Just, I mean, it starts with you. Ain't nobody got no recipe. Ain't nobody no magic magician running around with abracadabra type stuff. Like, it got to start with you. You got to step up. You got to, got to put that foot in front of the other one. Ain't nobody gonna push you, because I could push you out, but don't mean you really gonna do what you got to do. Was talking to somebody, and we were just talking, and I said, "Now think about it. Think about if you had to have surgery, And then we were just talking back and forth, and then they asked me a question. I was like, "Well, would you want somebody that's doing surgery that was made to go
Mm,
to medical school, or do you want the person who really had to pay for it?"
mm,
And when he asked me that, I was like, I ain't never thought about that. I was like, I said, run that back again. He said, do you want the person who was made to go to med school because maybe his mom and dad was a doctor and they just, put him through school? Or do you want the person who worked 2 and 3 jobs to put themselves through school because they
mm,
passion for saving lives? They really want to be a heart surgeon. Which one? Who you want working on you?
mm.
I thought about it, but I was like, that's interesting. So I think about that, like even with change, like you got to look in the mirror, but don't nobody want to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
They wanna they wanna look out, or even if they are looking in the mirror, sometimes the mirrors are dirty.
Yes.
So them mirrors
Oh,
are dirty. So think about it. You could be looking in the mirror, but what if that mirror dirty?
yes.
Are you really seeing everything?
That's
Is it
good.
is it clear?
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Oh, we're going to add Charity for this one, because with that dirty mirror, let's talk about that dirty mirror, y'all.
Yeah.
Let's get into some meat and potatoes here. Let's talk about that dirty mirror. Let's talk about when we've looked in that dirty mirror and we didn't see things clearly, right? Because sometimes we find ourselves trying to correct things, and that's not even what the problem is. But the mirror was so dirty, we didn't see the full picture. We done start working on one thing, and that ain't even what the issue is in the situation. Whether that's with yourself, whether that's with your mate, your children, your family, your friends. I'm sure all of us have had situations where we had to be, as Charity said, thrown to the rug, or floored, or put down to the canvas by somebody holding us accountable for what we said we wanted to do. And it don't always feel good to get constructive criticism. It don't always come out the right way when somebody's trying to check you. It don't feel good to get checked. But sometimes when we get a good check, we have to self-analyze. And when we get to doing that and we look at ourselves in the mirror, if that mirror is dirty, we're not seeing the full picture. So let's talk about times or a time where the mirror was dirty. Or it was so dirty that you really couldn't even see yourself in the situation. You was confused. I remember when I went through a situation in my life back in 2010. And they say for us as women, when we going through a big change, we change our hair. And that's when I went natural. I cut all my hair off. I came back to Kentucky and I cut all my hair off. And my mama was like, girl, what you going through? I said, I got to find myself. I got to find myself. I got to figure out who I am. And I got to start from the beginning. I got to start from the roots and figure out who I am. Because where I was then, my I am here is good. Back then, when I cut my hair off, where I was still in that place where I was a people pleaser, where I wanted everybody happy with me, where I wanted everybody to accept me, where I wanted to, oh yeah, I can do that. Sure. And even if I couldn't, oh, I can do that because I was, trying to make sure, well, nobody else volunteered. It's got to get done. Maybe I'll just do it. I'll figure it out. That supportive role, But sometimes we put ourselves out there and we'll say yes. And then when it's time to do it, we feel like, dang, I should have said no. I really don't even feel like doing it, or I do it. And now I got to do all this work to figure out because I done already committed. How many times have we committed to something and then we feel like, oh man, why did I commit? I really don't even want to do this. Right. So for me, that dirty mirror moment was back in 2010. And that wasn't my only one, but that's one that I remember cutting my hair off because I said, obviously, I'm not who I thought I was because I was allowing things to happen that I should not allow to happen or allow people to treat me a certain way. And I'm like, well, why are they treating me like this? Because I created that Frankenstein. I created that monster. I said yes too many times. I said nothing when I should have said something too many times. So let me hear about y'all's dirty mirror moments. Let me hear it. Whoever, go ahead.
I would say my dirty mirror moment was 4 years ago when I decided to divorce. And after 20 years, I had to really look at myself.
Woo!
And ask myself, why did I even allow myself to stay in a situation that was breaking me down for so long? And it was literally just a skewed perspective on how I see things. And I remember I literally put myself in a corner.
You gave yourself a time.
I put myself in a corner with shame and with guilt. Even though things were done to me, I set myself in a corner because it was like, I want to make sure that you don't ever put yourself in this situation again. So you go feel all this pain. You go feel all this pain. And while I'm feeling it, I had to literally look at myself and figure out, how did I even get here from the jump? What's the root?
Yes. What is the root? What is the root?
So not only what got me there, but what kept me here for so long was doing me.
What kept me? Whoa!
Look, it was a lot of dirty mirror moments because I had to face that mirror more than once because healing, it doesn't just happen overnight. It's a process. So when I went through that journey and that process of forgiving, I had to look myself in the mirror time and time again until I really reached that point of where, okay, I got what I was supposed to get out of this.
Yes.
I got that mindset shift.
Yes.
And now I feel like I know.
Hey,
I won't ever be in that situation like that again. Now, one thing is, I can only control me.
Yes.
So I may find myself near it because I can't control anybody else. But what I can control is how long I stay in it.
That's right. That's right.
So my dirty mirror moment taught me so much, and I ain't gonna forget it.
That's right. I love it. Thank you, Dirty Mirror Moments. Let me hear you, Mandy. Tell us about your dirty mirror moment.
I can honestly say what's going on about it'll be 5 years in July of this year since my divorce. I think I just like I don't know if I was in love with the idea of being married, that union. Like I just wanted, I'm not really a people pleaser, but I thought that was like my Cinderella moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, somebody got down on one knee, and, you know, he did this, but then I was in like a trance. I can honestly say that. But when I look back, and I'm kind of like, shit, like it's different things as far as like what I found the root of it, but what kept me there? Kept
Kept.
me when he spazzed out and tore up my whole house and made my life living hell.
Mm.
What kept me there? And and I can't really give myself no pat on the back because I'm only divorced because he left.
Mm.
He left, and then I found out I gave him like a 2 month notice. It wasn't like I was waiting on him to come back, but he left. And then that was like my way out. But had he not left me, I probably would have still just been in a terrible, dirty mirror situation. Like, and I look at certain things, like, I was like almost 400 pounds. Like, I wasn't happy. I wasn't really, like, I just was existing. He said he didn't like me to wear makeup, so I didn't wear eyeliner. I didn't even get lip gloss that really had a lot of shine to it. He used to always talk bad about people with a lot of makeup on their face, called it cake up and stuff like that. So me, I never wanted to really fix myself up a lot. But I wanted to do certain things. But because I'm trying to, in my mindset, I'm trying to please him, I didn't even look to touch it. And I just remember like looking at certain things. And if anybody knows me, I'm just like I'm a straight shooter.
Mm-hmm.
People when they see me post, like if you're friends with me on social media or on any type of platform, whether it's TikTok, whether whatever, you know that I have mirrors. I love mirrors. And I take pictures in front of mirrors. Now I have a LED, that's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't just because I like thrifting and I want people to see what I'm wearing for the day. Or sometimes I feel like I'm gonna pop my shit, so I'm gonna pop it.
That's right.
So that's different. But y'all don't understand is there was a time when I didn't take a picture. I walked out the house. I didn't check myself. You understand me? I didn't check and see if
Hey.
let me make sure girls is popping. Let me make sure my glasses. Let me make sure my lashes are straight. Let me make sure I got eyeliner on. Let me make sure I'm it. I'm hurting. You get what I'm saying? And so when they see it, when a lot of people took it as arrogance, oh, she's always taking pictures. Every day she posts about 2 or 3 pictures. She doing that too much. You don't know where I was at.
You don't know my story. You don't know my story.
I look back at my stories from like 4 and 5 years ago. Maybe I didn't have no mirror pictures. I wasn't standing for no picture, no mirror, taking no picture, posing, whatever. I didn't like who I saw, so I made it I had very brief interactions with mirrors. Brushing my teeth, probably wrapping my hair or something like that, but that was it. So now when I do certain things, I'm not just doing it for the woman that they see in front of them. I'm doing
Mm.
it for the woman that was back there that for the woman that was back there and she wasn't there. She was invisible. People was ghosting. They was walking over me, and different things like that. So I'm doing it for her and I'm doing it for the others that are just now coming into themselves and they feel like, well, maybe I'm too big to wear this. Girl, put that stuff on. Do what you do. I don't care who likes it. Show your tattoos. Show your pictures. Do what you have to do.
Hey.
Who you hurting? If they don't like it, so be it. And I never understood. And sometimes you got to tell people why you're there. You got to tell people because they're gonna take it as a sign of arrogance. But even if you don't get it, after I tell you that, hey, you ain't been where I'm at, so you don't know
That's
my.
right. That's right.
But the mirror, it wasn't even a dirty mirror. Maybe I wasn't even looking at the mirror. You would have thought that I was gonna break a mirror. I couldn't tell you how many times I did not take pictures in the mirror, and I thought about that moment of self reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people don't know, like I have mirrors in my office, and I am gonna do. I'm gonna do an affirmation. I've been saying I'm gonna do it for a while. When I'm at my school, we have a school in Columbus, a transition school, an affirmation mirror, because I want these kids to understand. They walk in the door, check yourself,
That's right.
because a lot of times they don't check themselves. They ain't got nobody at home to say, "Hey, come here, brush your hair, take that bonnet off, go in there, wash your face. You got something in your eye.
Yeah.
Put some lotion on." Different things of that nature. Check yourself before the world checks you.
That's
And
right.
that's
Woo!
different things, but you can't do it with a dirty mirror. Let's just be honest.
Yes.
Or one of those fun
Yes.
mirrors. You get what I'm saying? What them fun
Yeah.
house mirrors gonna do? They
Yeah.
gonna get you look. They gonna make you look like this. And you're thinking, they ain't gonna give you the right picture, right?
Right.
What the fun house mirrors do? They gonna make you look like you about 6 feet tall.
Right.
Or it's gonna be different things. So I just want a clean, regular old mirror so I can see who I need to see and deal with her the way I need to deal with her.
I love it, y'all. This is exactly what Cups and Conversations is about. It's about pouring from our own cups into the world, because we are not the only people that have gone through what we've gone through. But because of that accountability, because of that day, whatever day it was, that you told yourself, no more. The day that you told yourself, I'm not going to keep doing this. The day that you told yourself, I deserve more, I deserve better. That day that you reintroduced yourself to yourself and said, I'm Mandy, hello. I'm Charity, hello. I'm Dara, hello. I will no longer be walked over. I will no longer be disrespected. I will no longer be devalued. I will no longer just take whatever you want to give to me today. We had to have that day. Whatever that day was, whatever that day looked like, that's a day that we will always remember. Whether it was a dirty mirror or a clean mirror or no mirror, whether it was our eyes closed, whether it was a smack to the face, whether it was laying on the floor, whether it was the last time being called out of our name, whether it was the last time of being fed false lies, false hopes, false accusations, whatever it was that day that made us realize who we really were. Who we really were. That day was the day that we owned our shift. That was the day that was a big shift in our life. And we said, today's the last day of that. Whatever that was, today is the last day of that. Whatever that was for you, today was the last day for that. And because we made it up in our mind and we said, no, that ain't my life. I remember that. I had it. Listen, I had that moment when I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, this ain't what I was put here for. You can't tell me that I was brought here on this earth. I was birthed to be abused. That I was birthed to be abused. And abuse comes in several forms. It ain't just physical. It ain't just mental. There's emotional abuse. There's financial abuse. People say, oh, well, he don't hit you. It's more to it than that. Or even if he do hit you, well, at least he pay all the bills. And that's enough. We helping you raise them kids. It's all right. You don't want them kids without them. So it takes us to become accountable for our own life. Because like you just said, Charity, we can't control nobody else. But we can control ourselves. And I am beyond grateful to have you ladies on tonight to be able to speak your truth, to be able to talk about your shift, to be able to speak life into the world and to those other 20-year-olds out there. Though we can't speak back to our 20-year-old self, but we can speak to some 20-year-olds out there now that may be ashamed, that may be listening to family and friends that don't know what they going through. People on the outside only know what we tell them, and we never tell them everything. We never tell them everything. So Ladies, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I do have a quote that I want you all to see because this quote speaks so much volume to me. Because a lot of times we think that because we're quiet, sometimes we think that because we're quiet, that's everything's gonna be okay. Because I didn't say nothing. But sometimes our quiet speaks so loudly. We are letting people know it's okay when we say nothing. It's okay to treat me like this. It's okay to talk to me like this because you ain't say nothing. They'll say, well, you didn't say it bothered you. You didn't say I upset you. So what we do, but also what we do not do for which we are accountable. That right there, that goes back to Mandy talking about playing it safe. Was it really safe? When we called ourselves playing it safe, was it really safe? Or were we training people and allowing people and opportunities to handle us any kind of way?
I think what we were doing when we was playing it safe, we was giving folks the pass, season pass to play in our face.
Mm,
We was playing it all right.
mm.
We was playing it. Gave them the master key to play dead in our face and play with us, and we play dead in our own faces with that. We get mad. It's quick. We so quick to tell some people. I've been hearing it all. What we in? What, January 21st? Oh, I ain't gonna let nobody play in my face. Well, quit playing in your own face. How about that?
Hey,
Let's get
hey,
in your own face because in order if you got to stand on saying if you got your stance together, you saying you ain't gonna let nobody play in your face, but then we look up, you playing in your own face, then what we doing? It's your circus and your monkey, right?
hey, hey, hey. Now that's the truth right there. Because you posted a post before that was just talking about, the fact of when you know better. There's some things in situations where we knew better,
You knew better.
but we still operated the way we operated. But again, like we said, what kept us in those situations? What kept us there? And once you figure out what's keeping you in a toxic environment with toxic people, once you figure out what's keeping you, then you'll be able to figure out how to get out, how to detach, and how to live your life full of purpose and a powerful life. And then you'll be able to say, in this season, again, I am here and here is good. Because some people are here, but it's not good for them. That used to be all three of us. We were here, but it was not good. But it takes us to chastise ourselves. Because like y'all said, we know ourselves better than anybody else. And if we ain't gonna do it for ourselves, who we gonna do it for? Our kids gonna grow up. Our kids gonna grow up and grow out. They're gonna have their own life. So you can't keep saying I'm doing this for my kids. How about doing it for yourself? You the one gotta live with you forever. You the one gotta deal with you forever. You the one you gotta wake up to yourself forever. It's time to do something different. It's time to get out of our own way. It's time to be held accountable. So, ladies, I'm going to go ahead and challenge you all as I challenge the world. It is time for the challenge. Okay, so those of you that have been watching, I hope that you are enjoying yourself. I hope that you are getting some of these golden nuggets that have been given out. If you are rocking with us, give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and bang that bell so you don't miss any content. I am going to challenge you right now. I am going to challenge the world to start or end your day with affirmations. Speak life into yourself. Tell yourself, I am great. I am a shaker. I am a mover. Today is a good day. I am in total control. I am open and ready to receive great things. And don't be afraid to take the road less traveled. Don't be afraid to get outside of your box. Don't be afraid because there is so much life potential and purpose on your journey. But you can't be afraid to take the journey. On the journey, start journaling. Write down the things that are triggering you. Write down the things that are happening that are good, but also write down the things that you are struggling with or challenge that is a challenge for you. And then figure out a plan to work on that. And I'm not saying you have to do all of these alone. Get yourself an accountability circle or an accountability partner. You know if it's going to take more than one person to help you. And if that's the point, if one person is not enough to help you get to your next destination where your life is good to you, then get you an accountability circle, accountability hexagon, an accountability octagon. Get whatever you need, whatever that shape may be. Get you enough people to cover you and help you through your shift. All right, so at this time, I am going to bring the ladies back on to give their final pours. Anything it is that you want to leave with the viewers about life, about a journey, about owning their shift, about accountability, whatever it is that you want to give to the people, the floor is yours. Charity, I'm going to bring you back on.
To my women, to my girlies who may be coming out of the loss of a relationship or going through a divorce, I just want you to know that you have the power to rebuild. You have the power to start over and pick yourself back up. And just know that with your faith and with your pen, you can rewrite your story and you can create your own terms. Get you several pens because you can start over as many times as you need. If you are looking for somebody to support, to somebody to help you navigate through this difficult journey, please reach out to your girl. You can reach me on Facebook or you can reach out. My website is www.charityhammond.com. You do not have to do this alone.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's right. You do not have to do this alone. Reach out to Charity Hammond. If you have any questions or concern or you have battling, just starting over again. You don't have to do it alone. You do not have to journey alone. Okay, here we go. Mandy, give us your final pour.
My final pour for the day, I would have to say embrace you. Embrace the good, the bad, the ugly. And with that being said, I mean, this tonight's topic was about accountability. When you embrace you, you embrace it all, whether you like it or not. Once you start embracing yourself, you start looking at things a lot differently. Your lens is start getting a little bit clearer. Kind of like when you go to the doctor and they tell you, you know, one or two, one or two. Once you start embracing who you are and what you are, you could be who you are, truthfully, authentically, and just hold yourself accountable. I definitely, I want to say that's my final pull for everybody.
Thank you so much, ladies, for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We appreciate you viewing and you've taken the time out today to tap in and hang out with us and hear about these ladies in life and owning your shift. Owning your shift. For whatever reason, you are where you are. You can change that moving forward. You don't have to stay where you are, but get the lessons that you need where you are so that you can move on and get to a place where I am here and here is good. So, thank you so much for tuning in tonight for another episode of Cups and Conversations. Love yourself. Love yourself, and all of the love is but a bonus. Here's to Cups and Conversations.